Today, I'm going to go through the social media maturity model. It's a model that Tribal Impact uses when we first engage with our customers. And it's something actually that I put together when I left SAP about 3 years ago, but actually it still holds true today. So I'm going to talk you through the model and what it means and how it applies to business. So basically along the bottom here, we have oh, she says, let's put that here. Basically, along the bottom here, we have social maturity. So this is where, the level of social confidence your employee has. And then up here, we have network size. So, it's quite a simple metric. There we go. And we have a quiz actually that allows companies to sort of map. They give it to their employees and it's all online. And then we map where their employees end up in here. So the first one is inactive. So this is classic. My husband, and he won't mind me saying this, but he doesn't have a very big network on LinkedIn. And really, he's not very socially active until the moment he needs to be. And he was made redundant from his role 2 years ago in the oil and gas industry. And it was sort of panic stations. These inactive people, they only activate their networks when they need them. They don't nurture the networks over time, whether they need them or not. Then at the top here, you've got classic connectors. Now, I find a lot of B2B salespeople sit here. They have large networks, but they don't do anything with them. So in this column, it's all about getting your profile sorted on LinkedIn, or getting your professional profile up and running. It's about building your network. It's about doing the foundations really, and listening. Having good listening techniques to actually start reading content, learning about what's new in their specific area of expertise. And then the moment you move down here, this is where you start. Social sellers tend to sit. This is all about engaging and sharing. So when you're in this column, you are confidently engaging and sharing content. And if this is what you do down here, this is where you really start to get noticed. This is where you start getting out there. People start, remembering you for the right reasons. You're not spamming them, but you're just sharing content on a regular basis. And then as you move up to this sort of area, I was going to say quadrant, it's not, but over on this area, this is influencers and thought leaders. And the key difference between this and this is creation of content. So if you're out here creating content, this is where you would sit, because, and this is kind of the journey that I went on, right? I didn't do anything. Then I started building my network, and then I started optimizing my profile. So I was kind of in here. And then I started reading and I thought, actually, this might be useful for other people. So I started sharing content and I started engaging with other people's content because, they were sharing some good stuff. And then one day, and I remember it vividly, somebody said to me, Sarah, it's fine that you're sharing other people's content, but what do you think? And this is the moment that you start creating content. Now, what I like about this sort of model is, I better just describe this guy, this enthusiast down here. These are people, this is probably like your digital natives, right? They get digital, they understand social, they do it every day. Some would argue that millennials sit in this box here, but potentially they don't have a very big business network. They don't have much commercial understanding about how to use social within a commercial understanding. So this is the social media maturity model. Now, the key is not to get all of these people up here. That's not the intention. But the key is, let's get these people out of this box. And employees will go on their journey as far as they want to, right? Some will just get the foundations, they'll get a good profile, they'll start building their network, and they're probably happy with that, and that is fine. But for the ones that want to move on, particularly your social sellers, they really need to start moving into this space and then up, building their network and building their activity. And many people will sit in this space, and that is fine. A lot of your social sellers will be here. People will enjoy engaging and sharing and just generally networking with other people, other peers in their industry, but not necessarily within their company. That's what that's about. And then some people will move up here. And the idea is not all of your employees will start creating content, because honestly, it takes a lot of investment of time and money to create content, and actually you should be focusing on getting your experts and your leaders up into this space. So this is all about your experts and your leaders in this space. Your social sellers should be, and your other employees can build leadership profiles up here, or they can just happily sort of sit around here, or they may just be happy sort of sharing content. But the point is that you open this up to all of your employees. You give all of them the opportunity, if they want to, they're motivated, they're enthusiastic, you give them all the opportunity to train them through and move them into the next stage of this model. Now, this assumes two things. First, you know where they all are starting from, because you need to recognize that, you know, people start from different places on the learning journey. Some will be down here, some will be up here. They'll all need different levels of, you know, training assigned to them. But what the second thing you ought to be aware of is that they all learn in different ways, you know, and this is kind of a generational thing. We've got 4 generations in the workforce. You've got, you know, the younger generation, which are digital natives. They'll learn on mobiles, they're on the commute to work, you know, at 3 in the morning, if that's when they're awake and most energized. But then you'll have people like me who love classroom training and sitting down and actually removing myself from the work environment to be able to learn. And so you need to recognize those two things. People start at different stages. You know, some will be down here, some will be up here. So you need to align the training to suit the person and where they're at, but you also need to align it into a format that suits them. And this is, I guess, you know, shameless plug, this is where Tribal Impact fits, because we understand people start from different journeys. We understand the motivations of different teams. Leaders are motivated differently to social sellers, but also we understand through our blended learning that, you know, some people prefer e-learning, some workshops, some webinars. So hopefully that will, you know, this again, I will say here, we call this the social media maturity model. And maturity model, if you can read my writing, and this is it explained. So hopefully that's useful. Thanks.